Hi there. Sitting out here in the garden and almost hating these green bean plants because they keep on producing. It reminds me back whenever I was a kid and we had a very large family and my mom used to plant lots and lots of green beans. And we used to have these great big old tubs and they'd fill those tubs with them. And we'd have to sit for hours upon hours snapping green beans and fitting them, fixing them and getting them ready to can and everything. So you'd think that'd be a happy memory. In some ways it is. But I just remember all those green beans. Well, we didn't plant near that many, but they just keep producing and producing, which is a good thing, and I'll appreciate it come this winter. But right now it's like I would like to have a break. Here's some of them that I've been picking. I've just gotten started. But if you look on our plants, they've got a lot more coming on. And it's been producing for quite a while now, so you would think that these plants would get tired after a while. And I'm sure that they will. This year when we planted our beans, there was like a couple odd beans that got planted, and they're either called a pole bean or string bean or something, and those have come up too. So I wanted to kind of show you the difference in them. Well, this one here, of course, it has like a vine that it grows on, and I'm gonna put it down here with the regular bush beans. So it's quite a bit bigger than the others. I'm going to cook it up just the same, and we're going to see how they are. Now, one thing I have noticed is that these have not been growing as many of them on, say, their vine as the bush beans. But maybe that's because we didn't give anything to vine up on. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Clean out the water on the dust. Rims on the mower. Our persimmon tree. This will be the first year this is actually bearing fruit. It usually takes about 7 years for persimmons to actually produce, so she's finally grown. She's giving a little bit of shade to the chicken coop. We're going to put a few more trees out here. Chickens, they like the shade. Sunflowers, boy, they're really got so many heads on them. The corn, it's pretty much done now. Still got a lot of corn we gotta go pick yet. We'll be doing that here in just a little bit. Time to get some corn now. As you can see, some of this coons done destroyed. So again, you're looking for this here where it's starting to dry out really good. So that one's ready. And this is sweet corn. Somebody said this was like really good for something, like a delicacy. I think it's done bad now, but from all that rain we had, that'll be chicken food. Started on that one, but most of it's good. We'll just break it off. So I just went down and picked out all this corn here. About, I don't know, 6 5-gallon buckets loads. We've already picked a bunch throughout the year, or past, a few weeks. And I should have picked most of this, I don't know, about 5 days ago, before that big rain came that lasted 3 or 4 days. But overall, we got quite a bit of corn this year. Now, we got them as big as this, normal size corn, to as small as this. Which, I mean, it's still edible. Kids will eat it, but. And then we also got some like this. So we don't put no chemicals or sprays whatsoever. So pretty much, I mean, anything can get a hold of it, whether it be bugs or coons, which both of them have. We've had a lot of stink bugs this year. But overall, but again, with no sprays or chemicals, it's good food. I mean, everything wants to eat it, and that's what you want. I know that may gross a lot of people out, but I mean, you want to eat something that's got a bunch of sprays, pesticide and insecticide that's killing you slowly. But anyway, what we do is we take this, and there's your corn. Now this year we're not selling any. We're just trying to get the soil, see how it's doing and everything in certain spots. And I know a lot of people's like, that is a crappy looking harvest. Well, again, I don't spray no chemicals or anything in there, so anything can eat it. And guys, there's people who didn't grow any corn this year whatsoever. I mean, they may have grew the stalks, but they didn't grow any corn. So I see this as a blessing from God. And again, this here's not a waste. If you got livestock, you got chickens, goats, whatever, that's food. That's food for your livestock, so I'll fatten them up. Matter of fact, we got some lettuce, and the only thing we're growing it for is we're just letting the rabbits have it, just for a little snack. So I prefer meat over veggies anyway, personally, but obviously. But guys, if you've produced anything this year, whether this be your first time or your 100th time, if you got any kind of produce, whatever, from your own garden, thank God for it, and don't give up. Things will get better. You'll learn more as you go. I will go ahead and I'll talk about the sweet corn a little bit. There's a misconception out there that sweet corn is nothing but a snack. Guys, that is so that is so false. It truly is. Corn is corn when it comes down to it. Yeah, there's some more dense than others. I will agree with that. And your dent corn is more dense, and that's why they usually use it for that. But guys, this sweet corn, it'll harden up just as hard, if not harder, than your dent corn. You can grind it up. You may not get as much, but it can be done. And just like sweet corn, your dent corn can actually be used like sweet corn. You can pick it. It may not be as good as the sweet corn, but you can eat it like it. So don't believe all that hype. There's a lot of mess and everything out there. You guys can freeze this. You guys can dehydrate it. You can freeze dry it. You can it. There's all kinds of things you do it that way. You can also dry it out and you can grind it up. If you don't believe me, try it. So we got 15-gallon bags of corn on the cob. I saved a few back to let it dry for cornmeal, to show you guys that you can use sweet corn for cornmeal. And then there's a few bad ones that the bugs ate and everything. And I'll be drying them out for seed next year.
Another way to use the sweet corn is to take the shucks from the corn and give it to your animals. It's a nice treat for them.
Dad, I love you.
Love you, honey. Come on, you two.